VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Man, this is going to be a fun 3-hour program. Great guests lined up, including Jonathan Davis, his reaction to free agency and some of the big moves in the NHL. Jeff Seeley's best bets, John Deere Classic, David Purdom will explain to us the story behind Malik Beasley being under investigation by the feds. And Derek Stevens, owner and CEO of this awesome property, a little bit later on. We'll get into today's Major League Baseball card. The big news in NBA free agency. We'll keep you updated on that. But we have to start the show, Paulie, with we are on the precipice here of a monster upset taking place at Wimbledon on the women's side. The 2-seed and the champ of the French Open last month, Coco Gauff, getting buried. I think she just maybe saved herself here. They go 30-30 now, but she's down 1-0. She trails in the second set 5-1, and she is, there you go. She's now 34-1 to come back and win the match.
It's a match point for Yastrzemska. How disappointing is this? Oh, man. She wins the French. She was so good. You had the controversy with Sabalenka. Okay, I accept your apology. Here we go. Already today, Pegula, the 3-seed, is out. The dog there was 7-1. I was surprised Yastrzemska was only 4-1 to win this, and it's over.
It's over?
It's over.
It's done.
6-1. 7-6, 6-1. The champ is out.
Holy smokes, that was fast.
What kind of a performance was that in the second set? She got steamrolled. 6-1. Oh, my God.
It feels like the match started 40 minutes ago.
Oh,
and it's
man.
over with already. Curtains for her? Wow, that's an absolute stunner.
Yeah, 2-seed and the 3-seed gone. And as Nigel said yesterday, the women's draw could be up for grabs. You know, he kind of laughed. I don't mind Osaka 50-1. I mean, that's available right now. And this is certainly changes the futures board, and it's set up beautifully for Sabalenka, who's won, I think, made the finals 7 of the last 10 anyways.
Sure, and she is currently plus 250 in that range from what I'm seeing to win it. Rybakina is 5-1. Swiatek is plus 750, and then you're going to bounce down into at least double digits for the rest of the women to win it. But yeah, this is on the precipice of Pegula going down as well, or on the heels of that, I should say. And now, by the way, Diana Yastremska, who just defeated Coco Gauff, she is down to 42-1 to win the tournament, right around there.
All right. Okay.
And like
catch.
he was saying, I mean, maybe it is just total bedlam on this side because, 100-1 Shaw won it last year?
Yeah.
He likes the chalk at the top because he thought that, this is going back to our conversation with Nigel Seeley again yesterday, said that he thinks the separation between Sinner and Alcaraz is so big between the rest of the field on the men's side, but the women's side could be totally up for grabs, and that appears to be the case.
Luke, did they just show something about the historical context of this as well? First time 2 of the top 3 seeds are out in the first round. Okay. With the women. Incredible.
Wow.
The 2 and the 3 seed get beat today. Unbelievable. Oh, Coco was rooting for you. That was a disaster.
I'm guessing that's going to end up being a good result as of right now for sports books, right? Don't you think
And
a lot of
she's
people
popular,
were betting?
yeah.
Of course she is, yeah.
No doubt.
Thinking that she was going to be able to go back-to-back here?
I can't believe it.
Oh,
it's one
man.
thing to lose, but he got beat 6-1. And then the gal who beat Pegula today was ranked like 116 or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, this is a straight-up massacre.
Yeah.
She was never really in the
burial.
match.
Total burial.
And we were talking about that right before the show started. After she dropped the first set, we're like, well, she's plus 140. Is she going to make a run? Oh, within seconds, she's getting absolutely buried in the second set.
Yeah.
Like, I guess not. So save some money there by not betting it because it happened so quickly. All right. So that was quick, and that's over
All right.
with.
Yeah. Good big gulps, huh?
Hey,
okay,
buddy.
guys.
Hey, catch you later. So now on to NBA free agency, and I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of news throughout this show today. We certainly had a lot of it yesterday and earlier this morning. The biggest news of which would be the Bucks ultimately waiving Damian Lillard. They're going to stretch out his contract over the next 5 years, which means they're going to take a $22 million dead cap hit each year over the next 5 years. And they did this so they could sign Miles Turner, and they lured him away from the the rivalry that is the Indiana Pacers here. 4 years, $107 million they signed him to a contract.
How about this shocker? Number one, these teams don't like each other.
Oh, they do not.
And then you just go to the finals and Turner leaves. And then this is unprecedented that you stretch a guy with this much. It's the largest contract ever for a stretch.
Yeah.
It works out for him. Lillard gets $113 million, and he rehabs and goes back with his family in Portland. Who knows how long he's out, what team he joins coming up. And the Bucks made a ton of moves here in the last 24 to 48 hours. There is a report that Giannis didn't like this, but the Milwaukee's doing whatever they can to keep him and try to field a competitive team. And I did not see this one coming. This was creative, and I think it's a good job by Milwaukee considering he wasn't going to play this year. You move on from Lillard, the trade didn't work out, and now you acquire Turner and take him off the rivals and the team that knocked you out in the first round.
Sure, and I think there's a path here where Miles Turner and Giannis, I think it's going to work out pretty well. Because it's not like the Twin Towers from years ago, just despite their size, they're not going to both play on the low block. Turner loves to chuck threes. So he's not like a great rebounder, but he can block a lot of shots. And I think it'll work as long as Doc Rivers can figure it out, which I don't have a lot of faith in. But and now, this will allow Damian Lillard to, in theory, go wherever he wants to play. And that would not mean can he come back for the playoffs next year? Or would it have to be something probably for the following year? And I know that immediately the reports came out that watch out for the Miami Heat. That to me does nothing. But
No.
If Denver were to be interested here, after what they were capable of doing yesterday,
I don't know what they're doing. A lot of books adjusted their future odds, and it's nice you get off the Porter contract, but as several people pointed out, you're just trading Porter to get out of the tax, and again, you're not going to address the depth. Kroenke is worth $18 billion, and they're going to nickel and dime this and going to waste the future and the prime of Joker again, it looks like.
I actually like what they've done so far.
Getting rid of Porter's nice, but what else? Brown's not bad, but still, Valanciunas isn't bad. They also acquired Valanciunas today, but still, you don't have a lot of depth. Remember, Westbrook's gone. I know he's a polarizing player, but still, I don't agree with the adjustment with what they did, the future odds, and a lot of people are just pointing out, please, you're worth $18 billion. Spend some money here.
I think so a couple things here. I think Cam Johnson to replace Michael Porter is a significant upgrade because they're basically the same player, but Michael Porter never plays. He's always hurt. And Cam Johnson is reliable, and he's going to go out there and give you 16, 17, 18 points per game.
Porter can't guard you either.
Oh, no, he's terrible. And Johnson's a really good three-point shooter, as is Porter. But again, I think Johnson's going to be there, some guy that you can rely on. And look, we all complained when they let Bruce Brown go a couple years ago. Well, now they're going to bring him back. So he should help out the depth there. And Valanciunas is going to be able to give him some minutes because the backup center position has been, my God, it's been laughable for years now. So I think that's I guess two things about the trade with Porter is that they gave up that unprotected first-round pick in 2032, which could come back to bite him in the ass. But also, with the Nets just had 5 first-round picks, and they made every single selection 1 week ago. I'm actually quite surprised that the Nuggets did not have the Nets make them basically throw a pick into this trade, just in case the guy can actually go out there and give them 11 minutes per game and be there as like a chess piece and somebody that you can rely on for depth. 5 first-round picks, first time in history, and the Nuggets make a trade, unload that contract, and they don't get a guy in return other than Cam Johnson. That part really, I was like, guys, come on, at least ask for one of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that was surprising.
Jeff Sherman went as low as 9-1 on Denver to win the title. Right there in the Houston Rockets territory too. DraftKings is down to 11-1 after the moves they made.
See, I'd look at those numbers to win the conference, but to win the title?
Yeah. And then it's a mess in the East with the odds to win the East now. What's happened between the injuries and all the trades, dropping the Celtics big time. Hawks made some good moves again. What do you do with the Bucks? And they're at 13-1 now. And then obviously you dock Indiana big time and penalize them. No Halliburton. Now they lost Turner.
Yeah.
I don't like what the Knicks did. Utah bought out Clarkson. The Knicks get Clarkson. He can score. And they get the kid from Philly.
Yabusele.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good move. Pretty good couple of days here now for the Knicks.
Now find a coach.
Let's play you this. Brian Windhorst was on ESPN earlier today. Luke, let me know when you have this ready to fire up. And he was not pulling any punches whatsoever. And I think a lot of people are probably going to agree with him on this. But he was talking about Miles Turner signing with the Bucks, and Windhorst earlier today basically said Pacers players should be pissed off.
If I'm an Indiana Pacer right now, I'm absolutely disgusted. I am sick to my stomach. If I'm Tyrese Halliburton, I am breaking things right now. If I'm Rick Carlisle, I'm furious at just what's happened because they were unwilling to spend a little bit of luxury tax money to hold this team in place for a year when Halliburton came back, to go to a team that they hate. They hate the Bucks. So, it's going to take a while to digest this. And if Giannis tweets later today a big smiling emoji and indicates that he is happy as a clam, the Bucks can declare a win. But I'm not sure the balance of power was changed in the Eastern Conference, even though this has been a stunning turn of events.
All fair, Paulie?
Yeah. As I understand it, Indiana's not gone in the tax or once in 20-some years, so that's a fair point. We go to the finals. We almost win it. Game 7, we lose our star. Hold it together. Bounce back up. You're going to our rival.
I know.
That's a tough one. That is tough to take, no doubt. 22-1 now at DraftKings for the Pacers to win the East. Welcome, Charlotte bettors. VSiN is now live 24/7 on WZGV 730 AM and 97.5 FM. Wall-to-wall odds, expert analysis, everything you need to make smarter bets every day. Welcome, Charlotte. We love you.
All right, this is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. July 1st now today. It's a big day here on the network as our pro football betting guide dropped a little bit earlier. We will go over that next. A lot of the picks that people are making, 90-plus pages. Thing is beautiful as always. I'm wondering if too many people are picking this team or if too many people are fading another one. Find out which ones we're talking about next here on VSiN.
What's the guarantee? Eric?
Mike, time to make history. Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circasports.com for details.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah. Came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next A Numbers Game, a big guest. One that we had trouble getting for years, but now he's in the fold. Greg Hoops Peterson. The entire baseball card, what he thinks about it, and only Greg's style. We'll look forward to that. Plus Will Hill with all of his bets, baseball and beyond. And Paul Carr for a little action junkie midweek soccer for you. All of that and more. NFL as well. It's A Numbers Game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Big day here on the network, Paulie. The NFL betting guide is out. Dropped earlier today. If you are a subscriber, you can get it as we speak. If not, we'll tell you how you can do that coming up here in a little bit. It's $9.99. If you don't subscribe, but you can get $175 as well, all the way through the Super Bowl, everything we do here at VSiN. Again, more details coming up when you go to vsin.com/subscribe and here on the program in a minute. Looking through it, got all the predictions in front of me for divisions and a lot of Super Bowl stuff as well. The Bills were picked, to no surprise, right? They were, of anybody, they were picked by every single person here at the network to win the AFC East. Here's what I want. And if anybody sees something like this out there, please let us know. Easiest way to get in touch with us on the show is on X, probably at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. If anybody sees how many games will a certain team win the division by, I would be very intrigued by that, because I'm willing to lay, clearly I'll lay a game and a half, 2.5, maybe even 3.5 games with the Bills in the AFC East.
I echo your sentiments about the minus 260 is too low.
I mean, it should be $5.
This reeks of Kansas City last year. Yeah, it should, because I'm not believing in the Patriots. Certainly everyone's down on Miami, and the Jets could be a mess as usual. But then I picked Buffalo to win the Super Bowl in the guide. So I hope I'm right.
I have them in my Super Bowl.
You have Rams over Bills. I have Bills over 49ers. Tim Murray has the same Super Bowl as well. So I know should get the 1 seed. Buffalo should be great, and hopefully they can get over the hump and the Mafia goes crazy.
Overall, 10 people picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl this year. 8 out of 26 people picked Jacksonville to win the AFC South. Everybody else picked Houston. Is that too many?
Yeah, as I said yesterday, Houston was considered a disappointment, what they did, and they still won a playoff game, and were right there with a great chance to beat Mahomes on the road. Mm-hmm. So I would think Stroud would have a much better year than what he had, and it comes down to Cohen, and can he fix and get something out of Lawrence?
I think he probably can, but is it enough to overcome a very good Houston Texans roster? I can't buy into I do this every single year. Yeah. It's like the 76ers. When am I going to learn my lesson?
Yeah.
I need to tap out.
No, I picked Houston, and I gave out the exacta there, too, in that division. I'm strong on that division. I think it's Houston in first, Tennessee in last, and then however you want to play it with the second and third place team. It's 9-1 for Jacksonville. It's 12-1 if you put the Colts up there, and maybe Danny Dimes can work some magic with the Colts.
Very good. I like that. I want to tie in 2 different divisions here in the AFC, because 14 out of 26 people picked the Chiefs. That means that 12 people at the network did not. 6 were on Denver, including yours truly. 6 were on the Chargers. And I'll tie that into the North because 10 people are on the Bengals. My question to you is, Paulie, are too many people on Cincinnati, or are too many people fading Kansas City this year?
That's tough. I think if I'd have to pick, I would say Kansas City. 9 years in a row they've done this until someone beats Mahomes. Can't do it. Too much love for Denver, but that's a risky pick with Cincinnati considering they couldn't stop anything.
That's exactly right. Look, I mean, and again, I got there with Denver to win the division. I'm one of the 12 that picked against the Chiefs. That could, again, I'll raise my hand. That could easily be a huge mistake. And betting against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in that division, you've lost a lot of money doing that in the last, like you said, decade, pretty much. I can't get there with Cincinnati. They're going to, to me, the Ravens roster is clearly better than the Bengals because Cincinnati is not a complete football team. I think,
and the slow starts.
Of course.
That's the other thing. You can pencil them in for 1-2 or 1-3 every year. And that kills them.
By the way, if it happens this year, I want Zach Taylor fired.
Could be. There's your first coach fired.
Because they play at Cleveland and Jacksonville. Like, if they don't start 2-0, we have massive problems here, folks.
And the other thing is, what if Burrow isn't Superman like he was last year? I mean, the games that they outscored people and he had such a great season, I mean, until you can get stops and you put the pressure on that offense, he can't make mistakes or they're gonna lose as well. So you are right that the Ravens are loaded. And again, you got that motivation there with Henry to try to get 2,000 yards and get in the movie with Sandler. But Harbaugh, good coach. I think Cincinnati's got to prove it on the defensive side. And,
big time.
Same thing with Kansas City, right? Now, I did pick 3 teams to make the playoffs coming out of that division, which happened last year. But Tough division. And I think the Raiders will be improved too.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's pretty common. They're a pretty popular bet to their win total over. I mean, hell, the over now has been juiced to the gills on the Raiders over 6.5 wins on the year.
I'm surprised with a lot of people picking the Lions to win the division. But between that schedule, losing both coordinators, I just think I think the Packers are better. And I think I picked Green Bay to win that division, and I love Detroit under 10.5 wins.
Well, but you're not the only one, right? 12 people in the guide picked Green Bay. That's more than they picked Detroit. 11 people here picked Detroit.
Yeah.
So I think people are expecting them to come back to the pack a little bit. I didn't pick either one of those teams. I'm one of 2 people in the guide on Minnesota to win the division.
Oh, you stepped out?
I did.
Okay.
My first bet that I made this year was the win total over 8.5. I think the world of Kevin O'Connell. I don't think there's going to be a problem with J.G. McCarthy whatsoever. I think the team got better on offense. And somehow, some way, I think a lot of people are still sleeping on how good the defense is, led by Brian Flores as the DC. I love that. We cannot forget about this. I wrote about it in the guide. They played on the final Sunday night of the regular season for the 1 seed with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. 8.5 was the win total. I know it's a top 5 most difficult schedule in the league based on Vegas win totals for the upcoming year. I think they're too good on paper. I love their roster, and I absolutely love their coaching. And I'm not buying into the Bears. One person picked the Bears to win it. Can't get there. What do you think of
that's aggressive.
5 people picking the Commanders?
That's aggressive, too. I know they have a tough schedule, but Philly's better. But then you're also going with that angle that no one repeats in that division, too.
It's been more than 20 years.
2004. So, yeah. It is Washington or Philly, though. I mean, I don't want any part of Dallas. The Giants are a dumpster fire. So what's interesting to me is who's making the playoffs in the NFC. You got your big boys, right? You got your Eagles, your Packers, San Francisco. We love the Rams. If you want to take Tampa, that's fine. But then where are you going with wild cards? Are you going to stick with a couple more teams in the North? Do you think Morris can turn around the defense? Penix has a big year. Commanders, even with that schedule, they make the playoffs. I went Atlanta and Washington as a couple wild card teams.
Wow. Well, you can make the case for like 10 teams, I think, in the NFC, right?
Yeah, there's some Arizona Cardinals love. You can do. I don't hate that. A little bit Chicago Bears love. I'm not there with Chicago, but that'll be interesting to see how that plays out with who's going to make the wild card in the NFC.
I think Arizona's going to be sneaky good this year. Like under the radar, going to surprise people and potential to be a playoff team. I think they could be that good. And I know that Jonathan Gannon has been kind of a popular pick to win Coach of the Year, and I don't disagree with it. As long as Kyler Murray can stay healthy, and I think we're going to see a big emergence from Marvin Harrison at wide receiver this year as well, along with some other things to like, including on the defensive side of the ball. I think Arizona, in a pretty good division, is going to be a team to absolutely reckon with. So if they happen to be that good, then I think you can make the case for 3 teams out of that division. You can make the case for... But I can't get there with the Bears. If you do, that's fine. But then I think you got to make the case for almost all 4 teams to make it out of the North, and then where the rest going to come from, right? I don't like the Cowboys. Like, could they win 9 games and still miss the playoffs? Sure. So that would go over the win total. But I don't think they're good enough to be a playoff team.
Schottenheimer, come on.
I mean, you got to be kidding me with that decision.
It's a hot dog stand.
I do like the Buccaneers quite a bit to win that division.
Yep.
But I see your point. If Raheem Morris can, not a great
fix
coach.
The defense, yeah.
Has to.
Fix the defense. Penix looked great when he was in there last year. I mean, let's go back to the last game that knocked them out. Well, actually 2, right? They go to Washington Sunday night. They have the lead. They're up 2 scores in that game. And then they lose at home, and they give up a bunch of points to Carolina.
I would highly recommend, again, that you go and get the guide today, available as we speak.
95 pages.
It's great. A lot of the information. And we'll expand on this over the summer months. But it's something that we've talked about now for at least 5 years, and Adam Burke had a great breakdown. Why you want to play alternate win totals in the NFL and not a standard win total. Last year alone, if you look at teams that were either they went over or under, whatever way, between 1.5 and 3.5 wins or more, Paul, it was 25 teams in the league. So that means if a team's win total was 8.5, that means they either had like 7 or fewer wins or 10 or more, and that happened to 25 teams in the league. Like, rarely does a team get posted at 10 wins and they land exactly on 10. So you might think that, oh, man, they get it all right every single year. There's a history here of these teams going either under or over their win totals 24, 25, 26 times a year. It's bananas.
Got to get it. It's awesome. Everyone did a great job. In-depth previews of every team, win total breakdowns, best bets from everyone at VSiN, props, betting projections, everything you need to bet smarter all season long and lock in the football special, $175 through the Super Bowl. Every betting guide, every best bet, every host, every guest, the 24/7 video as well. It expires July 31st. Don't wait. VSiN.com/subscribe. Caitlin Clark out tonight. Doug Kazarian nailed it. The links are up to 11.
Wow.
Ah, God.
Jonathan Davis on the program coming up next. We'll discuss movement in the NHL and future bets he likes as a result. For example, does he like the Golden Knights or the Maple Leafs enough to fire a bet?
They're off.
Gear up for football season the sharp way with a VSiN Pro subscription. Right now, grab our football special for just $175. An early bird deal that gives you full VSiN access through the Super Bowl. That includes our NFL betting guide, loaded with team previews, power ratings, and season-long best bets. Plus, pro picks sent to your inbox daily, betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, live shows on the VSiN Watch app, and so much more. Don't wait. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Whoever said the summer months are dead for sports should have their heads examined. It never has really been like that. It's always busy. There's always something crazy going on. And we continue talking about big-time moves in the National Hockey League as Jonathan Davis joins the program now, VSiN's very own NHL senior betting analyst, and he is on the Progressive guest line. JD, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing great. It was, kind of anticlimactic today after what took place yesterday, but still some teams that made a splash.
Okay, so we were live on the air yesterday when the news broke, and the rumors were out there, right, all weekend long, that Mitch Marner might get dealt from Toronto out here to Las Vegas to the Golden Knights, and the package could be like Nick Waugh in return. Then it finally happened when we were live on the air. Some books had adjusted already. I saw as low as 7-1. I did grab 10-1 on the Golden Knights. I thought that number was absolutely going to disappear. Was I overreacting to that news?
I don't think so. I think especially when you look at the West. I mean, they're still at about plus 950. Not at all. I still like what this Vegas roster has. I mean, look, they're weaker on the blue line. No Petro next year. They trade Nick Hague to be able to bring in Mitch Marner, but they're still pretty deep on the blue line. And what Marner gives them offensively, I think, can help compensate for what they lost. Plus, he fits Bruce Cassidy's style. He's another guy that will play, focuses both offense and defense. And a guy who had over 100 points last year. I love Vegas. I think it's a great price. Even at plus 950 right now, I would grab it.
Okay, on the flip side, what did you make of the move then for Toronto? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, for the Leafs, look, they got something when they were going to get nothing. So, the sign and trade allowed them to acquire a player and not walk away with, not get anything, because Marner could have gone right to free agency. Yes, he gets an extra year by doing the sign and trade. Someone was joking with me. Marner should have just screwed with them and just said, I'm vetoing the trade to Vegas, and that would have really pissed off the Leafs. But what I don't understand is that the Leafs actually got shorter on the odds after this deal. I don't know how they go from 20-1 to 14 or 18-1 after this trade. They're definitely not a stronger team.
Okay, how about what else you liked? Florida bringing the band back together with their big move. What did you think of what Florida did and some other teams that you liked?
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, the fact they were able to keep all three guys. I mean, look, Brad Marchand is signed till he's 43. He said he wanted to play at least till he's 40, but they got him at a great price. Mm-hmm. And if they've got to eat a couple of years, then so be it. But, this puts them in a great spot, obviously, to go for a three-peat. I mean, I can't, you have to go back, I think, to the days of, the Oilers and the Islanders for a team that's three-peated, I believe. I think Montreal was another team that did really well. They added, they made the deal on draft day to get Noah Dobson to play on their blue line. You get a premier defenseman to go along with the guy who won Rookie of the Year last year in Lane Hudson. They get Zach Bolduc from the St. Louis Blues, who had 19 goals last year. Love what they did. I like what the Rangers did. They get Vladislav Gavrikov, a good stay-at-home defenseman. He can play alongside Adam Fox. I love the Rangers, as a team to challenge Florida at 27-1. We're still waiting to see. They're going to make a deal with Carolina. It's not, you don't too many times see, two teams, especially in the same division, dealing with each other, but they're going to move Keandre Miller to Carolina. It'll be interesting to see what they get back. But with Mike Sullivan behind the bench and the talent they have, I think they're worth a shot right now at 27-1.
Okay.
All right, good. How about teams that have been quiet and Edmonton's disappointing some people, and Perry joins the Kings? What do you make of what Edmonton's done?
Well, look, I think Edmonton, they're quiet, and they definitely need help on the second line to play along Leon Draisaitl. They can't go this season with Podkolzin and Kapanen being his line mates. But I think for the Oilers, there's no question that, while they didn't necessarily make a splash today, they have created some cap space by moving Victor Arvidsson and Evander Kane, two contracts that they wanted to move. That's $9 million in cap space. So it will give them some flexibility. It's not a great free agent market, so maybe we see a trade. But regardless, the team that we see today with Edmonton is not going to be the same team that we see at the deadline. They still have Connor McDavid's deal to take care of, which I think is really a formality. Not overly concerned with Edmonton. Corey Perry coming to Los Angeles. I mean, guys, it's a mixed reviews amongst King fans. This guy is the ultimate villain here in Los Angeles, from his days with Anaheim and then with Edmonton. To see him now suiting up for the LA Kings. I mean, look, you got a 40-year-old Corey Perry. He keeps himself in really good shape. At some point, the expiry date's going to hit. The Kings are hoping that he still has 1 year left in him. Not crazy about what LA has done overall. They added 2 veterans to their blue line, to their third pair. They also added Joel Armia from Montreal to their fourth line. They're better than they were yesterday, but I don't think that it's really a roster that competes for a cup. They may be better suited for the regular season once again than they are for the playoffs.
Wait, I thought this was going to mean that the Kings were going to be the bet to win the Western Conference because Perry has lost the cup now 5 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, they should be 3-1 to win the West. I mean,
yes.
Come on.
Yes, very good. Edmonton's going to run it back with these guys in goal, too?
Well, yeah, I don't know. They very well may, Paulie. And here's the problem for Edmonton. You've got Stuart Skinner at a great price at $2.6 million. There's really nothing out there. There wasn't anything out there on the goalie market outside of John Gibson. Now, Edmonton, I wonder if they reach out to Buffalo to get Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, because Buffalo just acquired Alex Lyon, signed him as a free agent moments ago. So here's a guy that, not totally proven. It's just that, look, at the end of the day, Stuart Skinner helped get this team to Game 7 and Game 6 of the Cup final, and he's making, $2.6 million? It's hard to find a replacement at that price with what other deals the Oilers need to make. It's going to be hard to replace to replace Skinner, and be cost effective about it.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Jonathan Davis, talking NHL, free agency, and some of these moves. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Last week when Paulie was out, Mike Palm was in, he thought the natural move here for Edmonton was to go to get the guy that you just mentioned, John Gibson. So why didn't they make that move happen?
Well, first off, got to congratulate Mike Palm because he did have Mitch Marner at 5-1 to go to Vegas. So hats off to him for that bet that cashed. But why didn't they get him? I'll tell you why. Because the Detroit Red Wings didn't ask the Anaheim Ducks to retain any salary. So that was something that Pat Verbeek, the Anaheim Ducks GM, did not want to do in a Gibson trade, was to retain salary. And plain and simple, that's what prevented this deal from happening for Edmonton.
All right. What else can still happen? Who else can still go on the move that would catch your attention and be like, oh, man, that's pretty big?
Well, okay, so Anaheim just announced that they signed Michael Granlund, who had a great second half in Dallas. Dallas had acquired him from Minnesota at the deadline. That's a good signing for the Ducks. The big player out there is Nikolai Ehlers, formerly of the Winnipeg Jets. We believe, that he's going to go somewhere in the East. We're hearing Carolina, Washington, possibly Tampa. That's the big fish that's still out there. You're looking at centers. Pete Suter of the Vancouver Canucks looks like he'll land. That's the center that you're looking for. On the blue line, Dmitry Orlov and Brent Burns are the big names. Both were in Carolina last year. And the other name that came off the market, and a bit surprising, Brock Besser, left winger, stayed in Vancouver. The thought was that he was not going to be able to stay there, that he felt he was done, but the Canucks were able to retain him. So really, Ehlers is the big fish right now for forwards. He'd be the Mitch Marner light for NHL teams.
All right. So as of right now, Jonathan, and we have about 2 minutes left here, is there a bet to be made? Is there like a Stanley Cup exacta matchup that you would like? Is there a conference bet that you would like at this point with the numbers that are available?
I think, look, I'm big on the Rangers at just looking on the numbers. Yep. For me, that's the team out of the East that I think that you get great value on. So I would play them to win the conference. Mitch, I think you've talked about it before when it comes to NFL bets. I mean, you like conference bets better than Super Bowl bets, and a little less risk there. So I like the Rangers in any fashion. I'm not sold on Jeff Davis's favorite team, Carolina. I still won't buy into them. And out west, I'm still looking at Vegas. That would still be my favorite team. Here's the one reason why I'll stay away from Dallas, guys. I know we got about a minute left here. Go back to 2009. Only one team has won the Stanley Cup that has either the first or second overall pick on their team. Dallas doesn't have that. St. Louis is the only team since 2009 that's won a cup that doesn't have a first or second overall, and all but Vegas drafted a player first or second overall on their Cup roster. Vegas did have Eichel, who they got from Buffalo, and he was the second overall pick. So I'm going to stay with that trend, and that's why I'm staying away from Dallas.
Very good. You can follow Jonathan on X. He is at West Coast HKY. He joined us here on the Progressive Guest Line. Great info as always, my man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys. And I'll have an article out tomorrow summarizing the draft or the free agency.
There you go. And that'll be up on the website at VSiN.com. Did you grab any Golden Knights?
No. My buddy, Schmitty, Nate Schmidt, goes to Utah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I know he was the first guy who reached out after they won the Cup. And
long lost cousins here between the two
St. Cloud,
of you.
Minnesota. That's right.
Win some, lose some up next. And, boy, some of these upsets at Wimbledon were huge.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the sports betting network. last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Upsets galore. Yesterday, FIFA Club World Cup, Al Hilal, 10-1. Shocked Man City. Luminense, 4-1. Shocked Inter Milan as well. That's on the heels of what's going on with USA with the Gold Cup. Guatemala was plus 450. USA takes them on. And draw in the USA match was 4-1. Pirates plus 110 went off the favorite, did it again. How about this? That's 4 wins in a row for the Pirates by 7+ runs, and they allowed 2 runs or fewer. That's happened 3 times going back to 1882.
Wow.
This Pirates team who just did it, the 1911 Pirates and the 1882 White Stockings. Why? You believe it?
Baseball's a long season, man.
And they've outscored their opponents 37-4 in the last 4 games and 4 blowouts.
And think about this. Dan Goodwin sent this earlier. He's been tracking it all year long. They are 63-22 under 4.5 runs scored on the season. 63-22 under 4.5 runs, and now this explosion.
Yep, 500 ball now under the new manager. Easy winner for us yesterday with the Phillies, 210 up to 270. They won 4-0. Wheeler continues to dominate San Diego. Should have been a bigger win. Merrill robbed a 3-run bomb.
Oh, how good was that catch?
It was unbelievable. Wimbledon. It just happened. The number 2 player in the world, Coco Gauff, goes out in the first round. Lost 6-1 in the second set. Ystremska was 4-1. Earlier today, Pegula, the 3 seed, lost. Kocheseta beat her.
Can I give you some updated numbers here?
She was 7-1. Yes,
okay.
Please.
First of all, this is from Brian on X. He said he was watching the golf match live. The second set, she double faulted multiple times on her serve to go down 3-1. From there, she just flat out gave up.
Okay.
That'll happen in tennis. And this is from Robert, listens and watches every day. How about this? If you faded Pegula and Gauff today, a 2-way parlay would have been 37-1.
Yeah.
A 2-way parlay at 2 sets to none would have been 65-1.
Oh, wow. Never thought of that one.
I know. And I'm sure nobody bet it, but...
Yeah. Incredible. Bashalashvili, plus 250. Munar, plus 350. Rinderknecht, 6-1. Beat Zverev. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. Eclectic mix, as always. It's awesome. She watches every day. Tammy Evans, she just arrived, signed up for the Circa Survivor, Circa Millions contest. She went down the street, your neck of the woods, the Red Rock. Bam! Royale with cheese, progressive, $1,400. The picture to prove it. There you go, Tammy. Well done. We also know Tammy as she hit the 7-card straight flush on Pygao at Red Rock years ago for over $100,000. This also happened at Silverton. It continues to happen. I think this was also recently at Venetian that the record hit for over $2 million. But this was at Silverton the other day with a Pygao jackpot hit. $230,000. 7-card straight flush. I believe there's a joker in there, in that one. But the run has been we haven't even needed the joker. And there's the picture to prove it with a whole ton of chips there as well. Love this one where the dog has to make a decision. It's a tough call. Where the humans are going for a walk, the male, the dad goes one way, and the female keeps walking. He doesn't know what to do. He's torn. Who do I follow? Wait a second. Mom's going this way, and Dad took a left. He follows Dad. There he goes. After about 10 seconds, he decides to run and follow Dad after that one. Tough call.
Now, if they did this 10 different times, how many times will he follow the Dad?
That's a good question. Don't know.
I don't think it's 50-50. I think it's like 10 times out of 10.
Yep. Always got to have the head on a swivel. You know, I do it with Jordan. These dogs are sneaky. How good is this German Shepherd coming in with the McDonald's Happy Meal where the girls got the fries and the burger on the table? Look at the German Shepherd. Give me that. German Shepherd comes in and steals the burger right off. No one sees a damn thing. Like a thief in the night. It's beautiful.
A total sneak attack.
Oh, it's a great job. Ocean's 11. It's a great job by the German Shepherd. No one knows anything, right? What about you ate it?
It's probably like one bite gone. Where'd it go?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Puts it down in one bite. I still remember my friend Joe. They had this dog, Petey, and it was a birthday party for one of his kids. And everyone went in the other room to sing happy birthday. And while we're singing, Petey jumped up and was taking the meatballs off the table. And he stayed back because everyone was singing happy birthday in the other room. Great job. We just had lunch with Irv. He got a straight flush, 3-card poker. Loves 3-card poker. Every hand's an event. He just hit that at the D. And Beverly from Yonkers, she says, yes, the shower here at Circle lived up to the hype as well with that pressure. She loved it. It's excellent. Bad beat. Royals Mariners first 5 under. What happened?
I mean, is it a bad beat or is it just baseball? I mean, it's 1-1, bottom of the 5th. There's an out.
Yeah.
But there's, a couple guys on, and a 3-run shot goes over 4.
That one was tough.
Just all you got to do is finish the half inning.
Yeah.
Move on. The under's going to come in.
Yeah.
No, 3-run shot to Randy Arozarena.
Need a proxy? You can join the world's biggest football contest with one trip to Vegas anytime before the season starts. Trusted by thousands of players over the last 9 seasons, Vegas continues to add more contests. Winner's Circle Proxy helped clients win over $9 million last 2 seasons. Learn more about using a trusted proxy service. Visit winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN. winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN.
Let us know where you're listening or watching the show at today, and you can tweet us at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. They are randomly coming in, so I thought I'd put it out there. This is from, let's see here, check that, WM on Twitter or on X, listening to Mitch and Paulie. Follow the money up here in beautiful northern Michigan. The UP, unbelievable this time of year.
Yeah, Lower Canada.
Yeah, and this is from Cody, who's actually from Indiana, but he's back. He's actually watching the show right now at a cabana at Stadium Swim. So we'll bring it up on the air. I'll retweet as well. And there you go. Always fun. So big upsets at Wimbledon. And you mentioned that crazy run right now with the Pirates, but I thought I would update this, Paulie. Again, thanks to Dan for tweeting the show. Under 4.5 on the season, right? Team total, runs scored. Pirates, as I mentioned, 63-22 to the under. The Royals are 67-17.
What?
50 games over 500.
Wow.
Under 4.5 runs.
Putrid offense. Boy, have they been bad lately.
Oh, man.
Worst record going back. They've been ugly for Kansas City.
Washington 62-21, Colorado 63-20, Texas 16-24. Again, that's how many times this year. That's their record with their team total runs scored under 4.5 on the year. Current streaks: the Mets 13-2 under, the Giants, Red Sox, and White Sox 10-4 under. The Guardians are 11-3. The Royals, the Astros, the Yankees 11-4. Yankees in action right now. Last check, they lead. They trail now. Toronto 4-2 in the 5th.
No.
Yep.
Wow. They'll be tied for first if they win this game. The Blue Jays.
Is this the angle again with the Blue Jays against a lefty? You gave out Big Earn yesterday.
Okay, Big Earn.
Had another nice day.
Continues to get it done. Yep. KC 5-14 since June 10th. Worst record in baseball. Caglione won for his last 30.
And a first 5 update. Trendy teams right now. The Royals have been absolutely abysmal at almost everything. In the first 5 only, their last 9 games, they are 1-7-1. The Nationals are 7-13-6 in their last 26. And the teams that have been profitable betting them in the first 5 in recent days or weeks, the Brewers are 11-2-2 in their last 15. The Rays are 9-3-4 in their last 16 first 5s. All these numbers courtesy of our buddy Kevin Rogers.
It's fun to be on the air right now. Jakob Poeltl, $100 million extension. Kings signed Schroeder, $45 million. Hardaway to Denver.
That's a done deal.
Okay.
That's a big, nice pickup again for Denver.
The big news earlier today, the Bucks waived Lillard, and they agreed to Miles Turner, $100 million contract. What are the Lakers doing? Finney Smith walks. He goes to Houston. You better grab Ayton. Lopez goes to the Clippers. Capella stays with the Rockets. Now, he averaged 14 and 10 last year, but looking down the stretch, end of the year, 8 and 25 and 20, 24 and 7, 22 and 8, 21 and 14, 22 and 15, 15 and 17. If you don't get this guy, it's an unmitigated disaster, and LeBron's going to freak out. You know that there was a report that came out last night that said the Lakers are going to wait to 2027 to sign a guy to a max. No, that's got to be a parody account. LeBron's going to be gone then. I think that was an ESPN.com article. Oh, my God. And there's also this. This is crazy. Don't forget, in 2022, people are going back and they found that Woj bomb. Okay. Back then, Ayton signed a $133 million contract with the Pacers. He did. The Suns matched it and immediately traded him. That's exactly right. Uh-huh. So does he go back there and say, screw you, L.A., I don't want to be on your team. I want to go back and play with Indiana, who I signed with originally 3 summers ago? And now there's no Miles Turner on the team, so clearly that would make a little bit of sense. I mean, are we on the... Dude. Need a big guy. Come on. The Western Conference is absolutely loaded. Are we talking about a team that's going to miss the playoffs next year in the West? Absolutely. That's the Chris Finch line. 13 teams think they're going to be good and can be a top 5 seed, and several of them are going to miss the playoffs.
Sure they are.
Yeah.
Think about some of the teams that did not make it last year who are going to be good.
Someone's going to think they're going to be a top 5 seed and win like 40, 38 games. That's another one.
And they're going to be out. Yeah, bad 24 hours here for the Lakers. I don't know what they're...
Ridiculous.
The common narrative is here. What are we waiting here, folks? What are we doing?
The disaster in Miami, too.
I know. The John Deere Classic, next step on the on the PGA Tour this week. Jeff Seeley, best bets, next.
Introducing the $500 trifecta. Use your GBank Visa signature credit card within 3 months of account opening and